I'm being forced to do this. This is horrible.
Pulled it down a little bit and stuck a bit more tape on. I'm so excited. Hi, I'm Daz and she's B, and we're on a 12-week road trip round France with our boys and our greyhound Sammy. Join us as we explore the history, beauty and fun we can squeeze in while getting to grips with the challenges of working and home educating on the road as a family in France, living a life less ordinary as we escape in the motorhome. In this video you join us at a park up at Le Bourgogne in Northeastern France on our way west towards Paris.
So, we're staying in a really peaceful park up, but at 6 o'clock we had a wake-up call from the church, which we're right next to. And on the hour, it seems to go into disco mode. There's no rhyme or reason.
Yes, if I quote the kids, at 7 o'clock, one child said it's glitched, another child said it's 25 o'clock, and another child said it's doing the seconds.
Oh, now, if this is all we're going to get at 8 o'clock, I feel really annoyed. It was almost like, it's 7, get up, come on. Even Dad said to me last night, are you not setting an alarm? Oh, the irony. That is it. That's all you get at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, be warned that if the park up says it's near a church, check if it's got a bell.
Yeah, it stopped between 11 and 6, but my goodness me, the 7 o'clock wake-up call, it sounded like some monkey had got hold of the bell pull and was just pulling it at random. Whoever lives, I don't know if anyone lives here, I imagine it's completely empty, or they've gone insane. Well, that was a really nice little village, and that was a really nice little air. My only criticism is whoever is pulling the bell pull at 7 o'clock needs to sort their rhythm out. But apart from that, it was really, really nice. We stayed right by the church, and the services are free and absolutely pristine. Well, as pristine as a toilet waste system can be. Yes, the waste services are definitely brand new. I had no hesitation in touching the WC system, whereas normally I want to put myself in a beekeeper's outfit or some sort of hazmat suit. You've had to do some window fixing this morning, haven't you?
Well, bin bag number, we thought last night bin bag number 5 had been lost without trace. It turned out it was just
flapping open.
Flapped up and stuck itself to the top, so I've just pulled it down a little bit and stuck a bit more tape on.
So what bin bag number was that?
I think we're up to 5. Bin bag window 5.
Bin bag window 5. So, gosh, she's noisy sat now this morning. Shut up, goodness me. She's got a lot to say for herself this morning. A bit like me. So we're really on countdown now. God, there she is again. So giving it all that. Yes, we really are on countdown mode now. We're heading to a Western theme park, as you do on a Monday morning. This was on my original list because I have a son who is very much into the West. He's not just into the Wild West cowboy shoot-em-ups, he's very much into the history of it and what happened to the indigenous people, the whole thing he finds very fascinating. So we thought we'd have to make a beeline to this particular theme park, and it happened to be en route once we left Strasbourg. It's en route really to Paris, so it makes sense. But we really are on countdown mode now, and it's very strange suddenly waking up in the morning and having that chill on your shoulder and thinking, oh my goodness me, I need a nice warm drink, and I need some slippers and a coat. It's chilly, it's very chilly, it's very strange, because a week ago we were dying of heat. It seems to have suddenly snapped like that. Maybe it's because that region, the mountainous region that we were in, on sort of in the east, was going through a hot spell, and it was going through a heat wave, and it isn't normally those temperatures, so perhaps it's just very odd that we haven't had that gradual decrease in temperatures as we've gone further north because of that hot spell that was going on in the mountains near the Alps. So yeah, I had some video messages from my friend this morning who attended the Victorious Festival, which is an excellent festival that we have in our hometown of Portsmouth. It's 3 days, sort of Friday afternoon to evening, then Saturday, Sunday over the August bank holiday weekend, and we do like to go to it. You get a few of the current acts. I sound so old, but you also get some of the old classics. So they had Jamiroquai, one of my favourite bands of the 90s, but they also had my all-time favourite, my hero. We even have his picture stuck up in the motorhome, Neil Hannon of the Divine Comedy. So she sent me 3 Divine Comedy videos this morning, and I have to admit I was feeling very homesick and sad that I'd missed that. So I definitely need to go and see the Divine Comedy at some point this year to make up for missing him at the Victorious Festival. Here we are. Whoa. How exciting! So we're at Fraspertuis, or how are you saying it, Indy? Fraspertuis or something? City. We'll have to try and find out what it's actually called. Okay, Indy is standing up there. Mad.
On this ride I wasn't sure who looked more bored, my son or this person.
Making me go on the golden driller. I really don't want to. So there are different things you can do. You can either sit down, which of course is the semi-sensible thing to do. You can lean forward, which is also stupid. These two are for absolute lunatics. I'm not doing the red or blue.
These ones have huge cubes.
Yeah, I'll go on the one leaning forward if needs be. No, I'm not. If you want someone to go on with you, I will do the yellow. Right, I'm being forced to do this. This is horrible. Oh, this is crazy. I like the basins in here. I think if Indy could have basins in his house, they'd look like that.
Hello. So we're in the town of Charmes, just south of Nancy, on our way towards Paris. But we've run out of some essentials and we don't really want to drive down the road, so it's a good time to get the bike off the back and assess if the rack is really damaged or the bike is damaged, having reversed it into a lamppost a few days ago. Yes, that end. That's the concern. Well, despite quite a hefty twist in the rail here, luckily for me, the wheel is nice and straight, so no damage to the bike, which is great news because we need that to go and get our essentials. Oh, B. Well, having got the bike out for a trip down to the supermarket, we've decided to turn it into a walk for everybody. So we'll show you maybe the best or the worst of Charmes. Despite a promising religious building, the town had signs of neglect. Some worrying signs of theft from boxes too. The French love for flowers was ever present here too, but our strangest find was yet to come. We've just discovered this, what looked like a garage forecourt, but actually is looks like someone's private collection of cars that's not for sale. So there you go, if you've got a bit of spare cash, why not buy yourself an old car forecourt? Store a lot of old cars in there. Oh, cool. Well, there we go, that was that. Leclerc is big and it's only 20 minutes walk down this busy road, so not far at all. We've got our essentials and we're heading back for some lunch. Yes, so this way out of town, Charmes lacks a little bit of charm. I suspect going the other way into town has a little bit more to offer, but really after lunch I think we're keen to carry on moving west towards Paris. So that's all from this town.
It's been a long time since we've had just a day in motorhome. Saying that, we've just done a 50-minute round trip to the supermarket and back for some essentials like there is every day, such as printing paper and toilet paper, all the papers. But yeah, I think after the theme park day yesterday, and it was a great theme park, we all had a great time, but there were lots of sort of scraps and individual needs that kind of culminated in me just feeling completely wiped out. I think it's been quite an intense couple of weeks, and now we know we've got this lovely sort of straight run to Paris. We've got about 3 hours, a three-hour-ish journey to get to Paris, but it's Tuesday and we don't need to get there until Friday afternoon. And so I'm going to drive for about an hour this evening to get us to a man-made lake, which apparently has some beaches on it. And it's not that warm, but it's not that cold either, which is bliss. The kids are happy with that temperature, particularly the eldest on the journey. So yeah, I think just having a nice slow morning has been absolutely essential. I've sat down, I've looked at the kids' timetables in September and just working out who needs which time when, who's got classes at which point, who I'm going to be working with at which time of the day, and it just helps having it on a piece of paper, even digitally so. But all of the kids have kind of asked for things to be printed out, and that's our life at home really. We do a lot of printing, worksheets and supporting documentation to go with things. So they've had lots of comic strips printed today, so they've been designing comic strips, which is really nice. I thought Indy was doing some ingenious stuff yesterday when he got back from the theme park, and he saw that you could pay to get photographs done in Western garb with background and props and things, but he got them himself. It would have been good fun, but it was €20 and we're feeling the pinch at the end of the month. So he got onto Photoshop, and Daz taught him how to do some bits and bobs on Photoshop. He can already use it fairly well, but this was the next level up really, by putting himself in a canyon of some description in Western clothing, and then giving it a sepia tone, and then making it noisy so that it looks a bit old-fashioned. I thought that was ever so clever. So yeah, getting back down to thinking about the new term. Yeah, but we've got Paris to come, which I'm really excited about. I just hope I've got a bit more energy by then.
Well, luckily we had enough energy left to take us from this park up in Charmes, an hour and a half west, to the pretty little town of Joinville. So it's just before 9 o'clock and I'm out with Sammy on his walk. We spent the night in a town called Joinville, but I don't think they say oi, so I think it's probably like Joinville. And I was going to say there's not much to report, but actually I've passed some really nice buildings on the way into town. But we're not staying today, we're going to try and get closer to Paris over the next couple of days, ready for a weekend in Paris and the grand finale of Disneyland on Monday. But for now, I'll show you a few of the nice bits of this town. Before that, I'll just say the air we stayed in was nice and quiet last night. No church bells for a change. We got there really late, but there was probably only half the spaces taken up, and I reckon you could probably fit in about 10 motorhomes there. It's right next to a canal, but the canal was very dry looking. I can see there's lots of waterways, so we've walked into town, and as you can probably hear, we're getting much closer to what looks like a weir. But there's some pretty bridges. Unfortunately, there is also some very ugly 60s architecture kicking about. Could it be a post-war thing? A lot of these towns were bombed in the Second World War, so there are a lot of lost buildings, unfortunately. But there are still some nice bits. I'm so excited. Yesterday, bear in mind I'm in my 40s, yesterday Indy and I went for a walk over a bridge next to the air, and we just happened to look over at the right time to see two like turquoisey blue, green shiny birds fly by, and we realised there were two kingfishers, and I've never seen a kingfisher in the wild. And 5 seconds ago there was a little shrill of a bird, and I looked to my left, and again I've just watched a kingfisher fly right up towards that bridge just up there. A little bit of history for you history fans out there. So this bridge is the oldest bridge in Joinville, and dates from the late 16th century, and would have seen all sorts of stuff. The tower here is thought to have possibly been for a tax or a toll, but actually they also think it could have related to the farm nearby and was simply a dovecote. So the bridge itself was restored in 2014 and 15, so not actually that long ago. And there's a lot of stone buildings around actually, which could probably do with a little bit of restoration themselves. But otherwise, a lovely little addition to the town. The bridge is also a listed monument, so it's got some protection. And I kind of wish some of the buildings in the towns I've lived in on the south coast had looked after their buildings a bit more and not sought to just turn them into profitable flats. Anyway, back in the motorhome, I just happened to be scrolling through our bank statement and... Crikey! Yes, somehow Ela Clerk thought I managed to fit nearly £900 worth of diesel in Stampy. And instead of freaking out, we decided to stay calm and cook.
It's a lot of onions. I'm a big fan of onions. Yes, and I very quickly turned that into a dal, forgetting to film all of it, but it has plenty of onions in it. And to quote Phoenix, it's splodge.
Well, that's all for now. Join us next time as we travel another 2 hours west from Joinville to the town of Cézanne. And thankfully, before the day was out, that horrible £800 transaction vanished into thin air. As ever, please feel free to like, subscribe or leave a comment. And until our next escape, thanks for watching.